question for Dr. Bahnsen. You say that the proof of God's existence is obvious, yet the only proof you mention is some complicated philosophical argument about inductive something or other, inferences, and what seems to me to be very indirect, subjective, circular logic. Is there any obvious proof for those of us who never took a course in obscure philosophy?
Oh, sure. Although I really do appreciate the spirit of that since I teach philosophy. And I know the frustration of those who don't study philosophy and they think all of this is gobbledygook and so forth. I assure you, this is not just, verbal ledger domain and so forth, that not all philosophers would agree with Dr. Bahnsen. They like to argue with this. But what we're talking about tonight in the history of philosophy is known as transcendental reasoning. Reasoning about the preconditions for the intelligibility of empirical experience or whatever it may be. And it isn't just a matter of subjective feelings or reasoning in a circle. A transcendental argument proves itself from the impossibility of the contrary. And I can give you passages in the Encyclopedia of Philosophy and other standard works, not written by Christians necessarily, that talk about that line of reasoning. That's what we're talking about here. Now, can this proof be understood by people who don't want to go through all the sophistication of a philosophy class? Absolutely. I've come here because it's an academic institution and tried to do something midway between very popular and something that I would have done in graduate school in philosophy. But I could do something, just very, very popular. That's what I'm doing when I talk about, on the atheist worldview, people are nothing more but matter and motion, molecules, moving around. Now, if that's all we are, and if all we know is our sense experience, then what I'm saying is we have no basis for making projections into the future about what might happen, in terms of science or anything else. And therefore, atheism is irrational.
Thank you, Dr. Bahnsen.